Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you are watching Top 10 Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Vince Russo is one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known, writers in wrestling history, and probably mainly for the wrong reasons. He is known for being the mastermind behind angles and ideas such as the Finger Poke of Doom, pole matches, the Kennel from Hell, booking David Arquette as the WCW World Champion, booking himself as the WCW World Champion, pole matches, Black Rain, pole matches, pole matches, pole matches. However, it should also be mentioned that Vince did have some good ideas too. For example, he wrote a lot of stuff for The Rock and Austin's feud, including the beer truck. He did the This Is Your Life segment. He came up with the idea for Goldust, the brand split, etc, etc. But for every good Vince Russo idea, there's 10 bad ones. And his time as head writer at TNA was no different to his time at WCW and WWE. My name is Tom of TNA Wrestling, and today we're going to look at the worst ideas Vince Russo came up with in TNA and all the bad decisions he made, etc, etc. Let's get into it. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on, leave a like on the video. If you want to see me do another video like this, except with Hulk Hogan in TNA, leave a comment, leave a like. Let's hit 300 likes and get right into the video. Starting off with the Reverse Battle Royal. Now I'm going to keep this as short as possible because I already have a 12-minute video where I go into full depth to the rules of this match, the rules of the tournament it was a part of, and why it completely sucked. So go watch that video if you want, but I'll explain now. Basically, the Reverse Battle Royal was one of the worst ideas for a matchup that TNA has ever produced. Two of them took place in TNA/Impact history as the opening match in the 2006 and 2007 Fight the Right tournament, and how the match works was essentially a race to get in the ring. Exciting, right? Rather than starting in the ring and throwing people over the top rope to eliminate them and be the last one standing, in the Reverse Battle Royal, you started outside the ring and you had to race your opponents to climb over the top rope to get into the ring, with only a certain amount of people being available to win because there's certain slots available. How TNA didn't see from a mile away that this match was never going to work is beyond me. The worst thing with this match is that getting in the ring is so easy. It's literally so easy to just run in the ring and jump over the top rope in seconds. The wrestlers in these matches all of a sudden had to pretend that getting into the ring is the hardest thing of all time, despite the fact that they've been doing it for years and jumping over the top rope just in their entrances alone. You would have people selling the tiniest attacks to avoid actually having to do anything. You would have people pretending they can't get in the ring. People having to walk around and find something to do because they're not scripted to get in the ring yet. In one of the matches, one of the competitors was sitting down during the match and the commentary were hyping him up and saying he's scouting and waiting for the right opportunity to get in the ring. Any time is the right opportunity to get into the ring. It's so easy! After these two matches, TNA/Impact has never had a Reverse Battle Royal since, and maybe that's for the better. Next up, the Lockbox Challenge. Time to get some women involved in this video, even though that's not really a good thing on their part. One thing I will always praise TNA for is how they treated their Knockouts division. They were treating the women's division like equals to the men, long before WWE started doing it in about 2015 to 2016. And unlike WWE, they didn't constantly pat themselves on the back for it, like WWE continues to do, to the major annoyance of me. I hate when they do that. But despite Impact being very good with their treatment of the Knockouts division, there were some moments, and this is one of them. This took place on the April 5th, 2010 episode of Impact, and was a bad match during a horrible era of TNA. This was when Hogan was in charge with Vince Russo as head writer, so you already know that this is going to be terrible. The Lockbox Challenge started off with a 4-on-4 elimination tag match. Daphne, Madison Rayne, Velvet Sky, and Lacey Von Erich took on Tara, the Knockouts champion, ODB, Angelina Love, and Hamada. When you gained a pinfall, you and the person who was pinned would leave the ring. The winner who got the pinfall would receive a key for one of 4 boxes. So you have 4 winners, and in the 4 boxes was a contract for a Knockouts title match, Tara's Spider, a striptease, and the Knockouts title itself. Which basically means that Tara, the champion, might be about to lose her title because of opening the wrong box / receiving the wrong key. Velvet Sky, Tara, Angelina Love, and Daphne would win the keys for the Lockbox Challenge, and the results were revealed. Velvet Sky opened her box first and got the contract for a Knockouts title match. The Knockouts champion Tara opened hers next and got her Spider, and she was very excited that she was reunited with her pet Spider, but then realised that she lost her title via random lottery. Angelina Love would end up winning the title by opening a box, which means Daphne would be given the task of doing a striptease, which itself didn't even happen, so that promise wasn't even kept. Daphne deserved better. And finally, the last Rites match. In this video, I've kind of talked about all match stipulations that TNA have done, and TNA really did just try way too hard to make their own stipulations, whether it be getting a stipulation that's already famous and tweaking it in a way to make it worse and just having it not work. And this was one of them. During Russo's time in TNA, it became very common for the fans to start chanting "Fire Russo" whenever something stupid was happening, and this match was the peak of that. The last Rites match took place at Destination X 2007 between Sting and Abyss, and was just plain dumb. Sting and Abyss are both spooky wrestlers, so Vince's idea was to have them create a spooky match stipulation for them to compete in to match their gimmicks. So, what were the rules to the last Rites match? Well, the fans in attendance had no idea, because prior to the match happening, the rules hadn't been explained to them, and the rules wouldn't be explained to them until just before the match started by the ring announcer. My god. Makes you wonder if Vince Russo and the TNA writers themselves even knew what the rules were before holding this match. It's like when WWE announced the House of Horrors match between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, and then like the next day they sent out a survey asking people what they expect to see in a House of Horrors match, basically giving away that they didn't know what they were doing. This is the same energy. The last Rites match was basically just a glorified casket match, except the casket was called the Deathbed, because ooh, spooky. The wrestler would have to call for the deathbed to be lowered from the ceiling. You would have to put your opponent inside the deathbed, close it, and then the deathbed would be raised to the sky, because ooh, spooky. So yeah, like I said before, glorified casket match. There was also added props around the ring, such as tombstones and candelabras, because ooh, nah, I'm not even going to say it this time round. It doesn't deserve it. The crowd turned on this match completely, just breaking out into very loud Fire Russo chants. And when the deathbed was called down, The Undertaker probably could have made his full entrance by the time it fully lowered because of how slow it was. The only good moment of this match was when Abyss chokeslammed Sting onto the coffin, but other than that, this match was fairly unexciting, and Sting would ultimately get the win after Sting put him in the coffin, or sorry, the deathbed, and raised it to the ceiling. Anyway, those were 3 of the worst match stipulations and ideas that Vince Russo came up with during his time in TNA. Before we end the video, I think it's important that I clarify something. A lot of you guys might have found my channel through my video called The Day TNA Wrestling Died. In that video, I talk about when Hulk Hogan and Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff all came in and how them working together kind of was a bad recipe for the company. But in that video, I got many comments from people calling me a Russo basher or a Russo hater, terms I never knew really existed. Mainly Russo basher I didn't know was such a popular term to use. I don't hate Vince Russo at all. To say I hate him is a strong word. I just think he had some very bad ideas. But the fact is, those bad ideas I can look back at and laugh at them and make these interesting videos like these. And again, like I said before, I credit him because he came up with many good ideas, and I think it is a bit unfair that people do look at the bad stuff as compared to the good stuff, because while there is a lot of bad obviously and it outweighs the good, you should still address the good thing he's done, even though it's a lot funner to look at the bad stuff. So it might be a bit ironic of me saying that, but obviously it's just more fun to look at the bad stuff. So yes, I just want to clarify that now before I get many comments again calling me a Russo basher or a Russo hater. I don't hate Russo, I appreciate what he's done for the business. He did have some bad ideas, but I just choose to look back and laugh at them rather than dwell on it and say, oh, he killed the business, rah wee. No, I just laugh at it. But yeah guys, sorry for that ramble. That's going to be the end of the video. That actually helped get it to 10 minutes, so maybe it was for the better I did that. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, leave a like on it, 300 likes like I said, and I'll do this but for Hulk Hogan, because there's a lot to talk about for him, oh god. Subscribe with notifications on, follow me on Twitter at Thompson Wrestling, my Instagram is at I'm Tom Bell. I'll see you all soon, goodbye, and keep on rolling.